Welcome to our show titled Speak of Africa, Brothers and Sisters. We're very, very happy with the response we got with the new video last week. That tells us you really miss us and we feel appreciated. Thank you very much for liking the work we do. In fact, after missing you for a few months, we spent a whole lot of time thinking, do people really care about this show? So let's test them and see if they really want this show or not, because it's really tough to produce this show every week. We try to go into all the avenues we can to bring you news, and it's really tough, and people make things difficult for us. But we believe in the dream of a new Africa. We believe in the democracy project for Africa, which is why we do this show every week. Because you showed us so much love, it gives us the strength. It emboldens us to really continue working hard to bring you all this information. We are all on a mission. Our mission is to change Africa for the better. Before we start, we want to say thank you to all our subscribers. Thank you to all those who send us goodwill messages. We appreciate you. We appreciate the fact that you appreciate us. That's really what we need to continue working for you and for Africa. To begin, let's say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Every child who becomes a man is born of a woman. Today, May 9th, is Mother's Day, and we want to celebrate this day with all the mothers, okay? So many songs have been produced to honor mothers. I feel I should do the same for mothers. I'm going to also compose a song for all the mothers. First, they say charity begins at home. I would also say Happy Mother's Day to my mom. My mom used to be a lady who worked very hard. She used to sew, and she taught me a lot of lessons. And those lessons really made me into the man I am today. The first lesson she taught me was the value of education. So I appreciated that. She also taught me the value of hard work. And she taught me to not worry about women, and said, if you really want women to come to you, you have to be educated and you have to be successful. Once you are successful and educated, you have all the beautiful women in the world you want. And I realized that mother knows best. What she said really is true. So all the mothers in the world, we really want to appreciate you and show that we love you, all our sweet mothers. I even have a song which I composed for all the mothers. It's a song in a language that I like very much, which is Lingala. So, Mama Nakomitunaka. So just saying we love you and enjoy this song.
Mama, yeah, mama. Mama, yeah, mama. Nazali kaka mwana na ye. Soki na salaki mamoli misama.
Thank you for enjoying our song, Mama Nakomitunaka, which is a song for all the mothers in the world. We appreciate you. So in addition to talking about our mothers and appreciating them, we need to focus on business. The business of today is our democracy project in Africa. The democracy project in Africa is to change Africa from the failing nation state into a Pan-African country, united country, one Africa. That's really the dream of this show. We want to start empowering our people, empowering you, so that you start dreaming and thinking about ways to make this happen. We try to share ideas so that you can benefit from this. When we look at what is happening in Africa today, there is fire in the African nation. Most of the nations in Africa are burning. And that's what most of you are telling me. I look at the videos, the pictures you sent to me. It's like Nigeria is burning, Cameroon is burning, Chad is burning, Djibouti is burning, everywhere. Somalia is burning. So there's so much strife, so much trouble in Africa. L'Afrique, toujours le problème à cause de l'étranger. Africa, too many problems because of the presence of foreigners. Okay? So we feel, so what can we really do? In fact, foreigners cannot really solve our problems. On this show, we've always emphasized self-reliance. Self-reliance because It is in our interest to help ourselves. Foreigners would never help us. There is no country in the world which has been helped by foreigners. When people want to help you, they always have their own self-interest. And that's the mistake the average African makes. And I'll take the example of President Muhammadu Buhari. Look at the last few days. News just came to us that he was begging the United States of America to relocate Africom, which is African Central Command, which is a branch of the U.S. Army. This army really handles U.S. interests in the African region. Okay, they handle a lot of the political interests, social interests, and economic interests of the United States. That's just what Africom is for. Even though the focus is Africa, but Africom is headquartered in Stuttgart, Germany. So, beset by a lot of kidnapping, violence, and insecurity and terrorism, President Buhari of Nigeria sought the help of the U.S. government to stem the tide of violence in Nigeria. So the U.S. government's response was really flat and negative. It was like, this is none of our business. You are our partner in terrorism containment, but we have our own agenda. Our agenda is not to solve Nigeria's problems. Our agenda is to solve American problems. That's what Africom is for. So it looks like even a president like Mr. Buhari does not really understand the way the real world works. America did not create Africom to help Africans. It is the job of Mr. Buhari to secure Nigeria. If he cannot keep Nigeria safe, which is the promise he made he's going to make and keep, it's his problem. It's not the problem of America to keep Nigeria safe. Now you can see that it looks like the insecurity situation in Nigeria is really untenable, but Mr. Buhari doesn't know what to do about it. We've said this on this show many times. Some of you thought we're just criticizing President Buhari. No, we're just telling you the truth. If you look at this week, a lot of Catholic bishops held a meeting and they decided to confront Mr. Buhari with a common message. Mr. Buhari, focus on handling insecurity in Nigeria. Stop going after your critics. Focus on running the country. Your job as president is to run the country and solve the people's problem. When people criticize you, leave them alone. It is their right to criticize in a democracy. Maybe you don't really understand that Nigeria is supposed to be a democracy. So stop running after them. You went to Africom. Africom was not created to solve your problems. Africom was created to solve America's problems. America is an empire. America is fighting to maintain herself on the globe as the lone superpower. America is not in Africa to help Africans. So you don't have to be naive to think that America is in Africa to help you. If that's what you're thinking, then probably you don't know how America operates. We live in America. We know how America operates. We understand the American system perfectly. America did not create Africom to come and help Africans. Okay? So you have to understand this clearly. Before, Buhari used to be against Africom activities in Africa. But it looks like the guy has made a U-turn. Now he wants Africom to come to Nigeria and set up their headquarters in Nigeria. Why? It looks like Africom has a magic wand to solve the terror problem in Nigeria. We don't think so. Nigeria's problems are Nigeria's problem. Nigeria is a big regional superpower, and it takes a lot of talent to really run a country like Nigeria because you have so many tribes and a lot of diversity, so many interests that really diverge. So it takes a really smart politician to be able to run this country well. But it seems President Buhari is not really of that mold. He's a man of meager caliber. He cannot really run the country. The military does not really want to get involved in politics, but eventually it looks like they'll be drawn into politics again because of an ineffective leader. Okay? Because the situation in this week, if you just read what is happening in the Nigerian media, kidnapping, terrorism, ransom. So now it looks like the folks who are in the South, most of the young guys, they feel, okay, if the Northern guys are making money off ransom, then it means we can do the same. We can do it even better. Because the Northern guys, those hooligans and bandits, they are kidnapping people, killing them, then asking for ransom, and the government is paying the ransom. So what kind of lesson is the Buhari government teaching to the young guys who are in the South? It's telling them that, listen, if you really want to get rich, kidnap people, kill them, then the government will pay you ransom, okay? So this is not a really good lesson. We've been saying on this show many times that it takes a smart leader to deal with the issues of insecurity. Why is there insecurity in Nigeria or in Africa for that matter? It's because since the Berlin Conference of 1884, Africa was divided. There was a scramble for Africa, and Africa was divided into small nation states. These nation states are not powerful. They are very small. They are very weak. It's difficult for these nation states to survive on the world stage. It's difficult for them to trade on the world stage competitively. They cannot compete. How can Djibouti compete with China? How can Chad compete with the United States? How can the Central African Republic compete with Russia? They cannot. They simply doesn't have it. It's just like you taking a heavyweight boxer, you put them in the ring with a welterweight. What's going to be the result? So don't think about the David and Goliath comparison. No, there is no magic here. God is not in the realm, okay? God is not in the ring to help anybody. We're now in the real world, which is really a world of social Darwinism. So Charles Darwin talked about the origin of the species, survival of the fittest. So it's more like the strong breed survive. Only the strong breed survives in a brutish world. And that's the environment we find ourselves. The nation state is very weak. It's a European creation. So it's not really helping Africans. So Africans have to start thinking, if we really want to be strong, we need to start coming together. We need to start having people who can start overthrowing most of these coconut head leaders like Buhari and co. Then the people now have to take matters into their own hands to start running their own affairs.
Hey, yo, Shape, I thought you was going to take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states where it's born, he even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
So instead of sitting, you look at another country, like I'm going to leave Mr. Buhari and Nigeria alone. I want to move now to Djibouti. When you look at Djibouti, it's a very sad case. Most of you don't really hear about Djibouti, but it's right on the Gulf of Aden. It's located around one of the busiest traffic areas where traffic that's going to the Middle East passes by there. If you look at that area, it's very, very busy as I can tell you. So Ismail Omar Guelleh has been president since 1999. Djibouti used to be a French colony, but the French still have a very big military presence in Djibouti. Because Guelleh is supported by the French, he has been in power since then. Recently, in April, they held another election in Djibouti. Guess who won? Guelleh Ismail Omar won. He won easily. In fact, the opposition candidate was even afraid to go out and campaign because he was afraid that he would be beaten. So he just stayed home and did not campaign. So Guelleh won hands down. He has the French support, because the French have their military bases there. But after a while, the Americans also established their own military bases. Then it didn't take long. The Japanese and the Chinese also established military bases. So it's more like after the Cold War, President Ismail Omar Guelleh is trying to play one superpower after another. He collects money from all of them and gives them place to set up their naval bases, which is not really a good thing. Why do you think most of these foreign powers want to establish military bases in Africa? Do you think it's to help Africans? No. Do you think it's to fight the war on terror on African terms? No. They are there to serve their commercial and pecuniary interests. They are not there to serve African interests. But it's really a shame that we have some of these leaders who are stupid, who continue to allow them to set foot on our soil and establish these bases. Where in the world have you ever seen an African country create a base in America? Has any African country established a base in Russia? Russia will never let it happen. Have you seen any African country establish a base in Canada? No, they will never let it happen. Why? Because those countries are too smart. They will not be foolish enough to allow Africans to come and set bases there because they don't want Africans to know what they are doing. But it's only the foolish Africans who allow them to come and set and build bases in their land. And the whole thing goes. Sometimes they tell you, oh, we're setting up a cooperative arrangement. We're going to work as partners. But the aim is to make sure that the terrorism stays in Africa. It doesn't come to their shores. So you can see it. When the terrorism crossed from Afghanistan to the US, the United States was forced to react. And that's what started the whole war on terror. They don't want it to happen on their soil. They want it to take place in Africa. So that's why we're educating our people that insecurity is going to be in Africa. It's not because we want it. It's because our leaders are stupid. It's because they inherited a colonial problem, which is the nation state that is on fire. The nation state has a mechanism that is very weak. It's easy to overthrow it because power resides in one big dictator. When you kill the dictator, the whole apparatus of state collapses. So that's the sad thing with the structures that we have. They are very weak. One guy controls the whole army. It just takes you to knock him down and the whole country collapses. Is that a country? No. So which is why we're telling you that the whole concept of the nation state has failed. It needs to be replaced with a Pan-Africanist structure where you have a central African government where the people have their own parliament and the people can decide what they want to happen in their country. Gone should be the days when one dictator is going to be sitting with an American to negotiate on behalf of other Africans. That should not be happening. You cannot see Americans allow a crazy guy to negotiate on their behalf. You saw even what they did to Donald Trump. When they realized that the guy is becoming too stupid and crazy, they just kick him out. So that's how it should also be in Africa. We should put an end to the whole experience of the nation state because it's very weak. It cannot really help us thrive in the world stage. We are weak players. So in order to be strong players, we need to go back to the roots. You look at even this insecurity. Why is insecurity happening? It's because our people are tired. The politics of exclusion. When our people get into power, they don't want to share power with other Africans. So this creates resentment. When you are in power, another party wants to overthrow you to take over. When you look at Chad, that's also a good example of the politics of exclusion. Since Chad emerged as a French colony, then they gained their independence. Francois Tombabaye started running the country. From 73 up to today, there's been instability in Chad. You'll be surprised that Chad has a lot of resources, gold, uranium, and oil. But those resources do not trickle down to the average Chadian. Even the oil pipeline, which was designed for over 4 billion, and they wanted the average Chadian to benefit from this oil. But Idris Deby Itno may his soul rest in peace, never wanted the average person to benefit from this money. He monopolized the use of this money. As a result, other people emerged to challenge his leadership because they felt he is not really God ordained to rule them. So they wanted to seize power from him. And that's how he was killed. His masters, the French, also got tired with the way he was doing things. So this is what happens in a weak system. The French are always there. So you can see, like we told you, even in Djibouti, the French are there. So they're always behind. What do they want? They want the resources in Africa. They want a fertile ground where they can harvest stuff that doesn't really belong to them. So this is really sad. And you see this in Chad. Chad is not alone. We can even take you now to La Republique du Cameroun. You find the same trend.
Is your EMR EHR COVID-19 ready? If not, you do not know what you are missing. Why do you suffer in silence? Be smart. Turn to Alexia HTC today. Alexia HTC is the leader in virtual solution and communication technology in these times of pandemic crisis. When the unexpected happens, who are you going to call? Alexia HTC. Come and see how Alexia HTC Cloud Communications are enabling your fellow healthcare providers to consult with patients virtually and making big money. Alexia HTC also enables your employees to work remotely during the COVID-19 crisis. Are your employees safe? Do not jeopardize the health and safety of your patients and practice. What can Alexia HTC do for you? Alexia HTC is the new Colossus, the sister of physicians, who gives you back liberty, that is, the freedom to practice medicine your way. Vivacious virtual visits wherever you please. Amazing e-prescribing. Quick access to patient information. Easy access to medical records from other providers. Rapid drug allergy checks. Integrated lab tests and results. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled doctors yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your greedy corporations. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed physicians, to me. I give them the refuge. The happy home of Alexia HTC. Act now. Browse alexiahtc.com or call 240-350-1131.
A few weeks ago, some of you guys sent us pictures of the demise or the transition of Germaine Amadou Ahidjo, the wife of the former president of La République du Cameroun. When he was in power, he felt he was untouchable. He was a big-time Western puppet. He was invisible. But now, you look at his grave in Yoff, Senegal, Dakar. I saw a journalist who went there and was telling us that, listen, for the first time in my life, I could not believe I would get close to Amadou Ahidjo. But I was there and nobody was chasing me away. I was sitting on his grave and just taking pictures and thinking to myself, wow, how low can the mighty fall? This is really a case. So Germaine finally has died without realizing the dream of the repatriation of her husband for state burial in La République du Cameroun. So this is really sad because of the politics of exclusion. Ahidjo gave power to Paul Biya, but Paul Biya did not reciprocate with any kind of kindness because the same type of way that Ahidjo treats his opponents and enemies, Biya treated him just like an enemy. So he did not really get it. So it remains for the next president of La République du Cameroun to probably give Ahidjo a state burial as a way to work a form of rapprochement with the Cameroonians in the north of the country. And because right now, you still have a lot of divisions. So it's like the house in Cameroon also is on fire. The Biya government is playing games, looking for ways, like a house of cards. You want to make sure that everything doesn't crumble at once. They're just playing games to try to maintain the stack so it can stay up. But will it stay up? We don't really think so, because it just takes us a little diffusion, poof, then the balloon bursts, okay? and the air comes out. So when we look at the German incident, the people in the north are very angry. They're just choosing a good moment to strike. Already, we can hear reverberations from the north. They are making noise about what they want to do, and we know when people make threats, it's always good to take those threats seriously because they're going to put those threats in action. Because even Hamidou Yahya had tried to work some kind of game with the Biya government so that they can take the remains of Ojong to La Republique du Cameroun for a state funeral, but Biya did not allow it. So it looks like Ojong's wife now has finally died. So when you see trouble happening in Cameroon soon, don't be like, oh, why is this happening? What we try to do on this show is we try to make you get a sense of what is really happening. We give you the news behind the news. Sometimes people don't understand why certain things happen in Africa. It's like chaos. No, it's not chaos. Those things really happen for clear reasons. They have remote causes and they have immediate causes. Most of the time, people only see the immediate causes, but they don't know the remote causes. This is what led to a head before the fuse got burnt and we started getting all the lava out of the volcanic eruption, right? So you can see that. Then, of course, there's fire also in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a country we've reported on this show many times also. This week, it's like Sankara is alive and Compaoré is dead. So is Sankara finally going to get some justice? For over 30 years, he has not really gotten any justice. For those of you who don't remember, Thomas Sankara was an African patriot. He wanted to take his country away from the French orbit of neo-colonialism. He wanted his country to be free. And when he made a coup d'etat, he even changed the name of the country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, which means the land of the people who walk upright, people who are very honest. And that's the way he perceived his people. So he wanted them to start a new beginning, change, do things differently, then try to be self-sufficient. But his number two, Blaise Compaoré, connived with the French to kill him. So now that Blaise Compaoré was toppled by the people, it's time for justice. So the Ivorians, the Burkina Faso folks and the Ivorians don't really want Compaoré to stay in their country. They want him to come back to Ouagadougou to face trial for killing Sankara, an African hero and a Pan-Africanist. So you see, it's really tough. Whenever you are a leader in Africa, don't try to be alone, because if you're alone, you become an easy target. Try to get a lot of people to think like you so that you form a movement. So you don't want to be a leader and you are alone, so that when they take you out, the movement dies. So it took the maturity of a lot of the young people who have just been hearing the story of Sankara to rise up against the puppet called Blaise Compaoré. Today, Blaise Compaoré is very scared. Even though he's protected in Ivory Coast by Alassane Ouattara, he's still afraid to come back and face the music in Burkina Faso. As a result, you continue hearing about insecurity in Burkina Faso because the people are unhappy. They don't accept the presence of the French in their country. They don't accept that France should be monopolizing their resources. They want to have a say in the way resources are distributed in their country. So that's really what is really happening in this part of the world. So we've taken you to Africa and insecurity, and we're telling you that the best way to handle insecurity is to have African autonomy. African autonomy, where Africans have the right politically, socially, and economically. We have to start building our own institutions, okay? We have to share power with our brothers and sisters, okay? So we have to forget about the politics of exclusion. So we've covered a whole lot of areas on the show of today, and we want to say thank you for watching this show, and we're reminding you to subscribe to our show, share this show with your friends and family, send us information about how we can improve this show. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Bye-bye.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, That's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.
Kangelanga motema mama yebisa na yeba mama